right, so it's Friday afternoon. Darian, we're going to talk a little bit about situational leadership for teenagers, okay? So there is an objective, there's also cognitive examples of behavior, and there's an affective objective to this lesson. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Darian, our objective to this lesson is comprehend how situational leadership impacts your personal and social performance. So based on earlier this year we talked about personal and social performance. What was personal and social performance, Darian?
Personal performance is
Personal performance.
Well, personal performance is like things that you do by yourself.
Okay.
And then social performance is things that you do with other people. So like how you perform by yourself and how you perform with others.
Very good. All right. So there are cognitive samples of behavior. You know that you're going to be tested on this, but more importantly, you're going to be tested on this in society when you're older, now and when you're older. So there's 3 samples of behavior. Explain how situational leadership impacts personal and social performance. You have to give examples of how situational leadership impacts personal and social performance. And then finally predict the impact of situational leadership on personal and social performance. There is an affective sample of behavior. We talked about this earlier in the year. We talked about value how situational leadership affects the teenager or affects personal and social performance. Okay, I want you to be able to take this and utilize it in different venues. Okay, I want you to be able to value this. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. First idea is situational leadership is task specific. So what you do for one task will be entirely different for another. That's exactly what it's talking about. Situational leadership is based on competency and commitment of a task or a job. Can you tell me, based on our earlier reading, what competency and commitment means, Darian?
Commitment is like isn't it like a higher level? So you have a high commitment to something that means you're on it all the time, all day, every day. Low is like you don't really, it's just every now and again you do it.
All right, very good. You read your material. Okay, very good. And what about competency? Can you tell me what competency of a task or job is?
Competency is how well you do it.
Okay, how well you do it. Okay. Competent at a particular task or a skill, it really means that you know it inside and out, or maybe you don't. Okay, so that is your competency and or commitment. All right. So let's go ahead and get involved in those leadership styles. We're talking about S1 through S4. This is based on your reading. We're talking about directing, coaching, participating, and delegating. So this is, when we talk about leadership styles, we're talking about how somebody addresses, the leader addresses their counterpart or whomever they're working with to their development level style. Okay? And anybody can use this. All right, so let's get started. Our S1, it's one-way communication, right? So leader defines roles of individuals or groups and provides the what, how, why, when, and where to do the task. Tell me where you have seen this, Darian.
At home, when a parent talking to their son or kid or daughter.
Okay, all right. S2, coaching, two-way communication. Leader still provides the direction but provides support to allow the individual or group being influenced to buy into the process. Tell me where you've seen this.
Yes. Football coach.
Okay, tell me what the football coach does.
So like he doesn't tell you. I guess in a way. He tells you to do something, like he shows you how it should be done. Tries telling you should do this instead of doing that. Tries to make it easier for you to get, I guess. So.
Okay, all right. But there's two-way communication. Tell me how that two-way communication involves you and the leader. Two-way communication. So if you're on the field and you say, hey coach, the line is doing something different. Why don't we do this? That's two-way communication, right? And he's got to trust that you know what you're talking about, right? Okay, he's been with you for a while, he's seen your performance, he's got to trust that you can see these things. Maybe he's not seeing it, maybe his attention is focused on something else. Okay, so that two-way communication is very important. All right, S3, participating. Shared decision-making maintains high relationship behavior. Tell me how this is different from coaching, okay, on the football field. Participating. So in S2, leader still provides the direction, but in S3, there's something different.
It's like it's shared, so everybody has a choice. Right?
Everybody has a choice, but in S2, there's something missing in those people that he has got to be a tad bit more, directive. He's got to give you more information, okay? All right. And S4, delegating. The leader is still involved in decisions, however, the process and responsibility is being delegated and passed to those individuals or groups, and the leader monitors that progress. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and get started in those development levels. All right, so we got D1 all the way through D4, okay? So in D1, we talked about low confidence and high commitment. These are the development level styles that those leaders are noticing of those people, okay? So, in order to be appropriate for that S1 leadership style and to that development level D1, that person notices something about that person, low confidence and high commitment. That person is indicative of a happy face. They're happy to be there, but they don't know what the heck is going on, okay? They don't have that competence level to know what's going on just yet, but they're certainly happy. All right, moving on to that development level style, D2. That person's got a little bit more confidence than before. They know enough to be dangerous, but their commitment level is low. They're unhappy. So this person is indicative of they're unhappy because I know just enough about the task or the job to understand I have a long ways to go and grow before I can actually really understand everything. And this makes me unhappy. It's a very long and daunting process and a task, and I don't know if I want to continue this. So, all right. High confidence, low variable commitment. I'm somewhat happy. I'm okay. Because I'm starting to get the hang of the job. So now I'm competent. I know what is going on. However, some situations make me feel uneasy. Maybe I haven't resolved those situations. Maybe I'm uncomfortable with this situation versus this situation. And so now I need to be able to figure this situation out before I can teach somebody else how to do it. Okay? Have you ever felt like you were in a D3 developmental style? You're uncertain at times, at certain situations. What about when you're a quarterback, Darian? Do you know every play?
Well, I know enough plays to get me through, so like the most popular ones that we do.
Okay, you know enough plays to get you through. Could you teach all of the plays to somebody else? Maybe a freshman. Okay, tell me why.
there's just like too many plays, and some of the plays that we do get tricky, and it's really hard, and I'm really uncertain about some other plays.
Uncertain about situations. Very good. All right, D4. This is the developmental style that people want to try and get to. Remember, this is a transition period. All the way through D1 through D4. High confidence, high commitment. I'm extremely happy because I know the task, I know the job. I want to teach this to other people. I'm extremely committed to doing this task or this job. Have you ever felt that way? Ever? Can you tell me why?
Why I haven't felt that way? Because I'm kind of like eerie on some things.
Okay.
So like being a quarterback, it's kind of like you can't really be that great at it because it curves with the way defense is. So like let's just say you have a play, right? And the play is you're supposed to throw it to the X receiver, but instead they got him double teamed since he's our best player. You got to compromise.
Okay.
So you're unweary about who to pass it to next.
Okay. All right. I can understand that. Your mother told me that you think you are the best driver in the whole world. Okay. So do you feel confident that you could teach somebody else how to drive? Do you feel like that you are a D4 in that particular job and task?
The stick shift and automatic.
It doesn't matter. Just driving. That's what your mother was saying, that you were bragging the other day.
I guess so.
You guess so?
I
What do you mean you guess so? You were bragging to your mom the other day.
mean, yeah, I could teach somebody how to drive.
Okay, all right. All the fundamentals. Okay, all right. So you have been a D4. All right, so how do we apply? Just like I said, a D1 to an an S1 to a D1, S2 to a D2, so forth and so on. Remember, this is situational leadership. It is situational. So for what you would use for this situation, not necessarily another. So for example, your mother tells you, she screams at you, go call 911. It's an emergency, right? So that is a particular situation where this would not apply. It's an emergency. Don't worry about it. It is situational. Okay? Do you have any questions, Terry? All right. So today you learned a little bit about situational leadership. You learned, you've read the 1 Minute Manager. You've read that pre to coming to class. You also took some Cornell notes off of your laptop. Tell me, let's recap. Competence and commitment level, what is the two differences between those?
Commitment is how well you want to do something, or how well you are going to do something, I guess. So like like I said, a high commitment is you're on it every day, all day. You want to get an A at that project. And then a low commitment is like, yeah, I'll get to it when I get to it. It's not really big. I don't care what grade I get.
All right. What about your competency level?
And then competency level is like how well you want to do it.
Okay. How well you know that task. Okay. All right. And we also went through S1 through D1. Okay. S2 through D2, so forth and so on. All right. So again, there is affective samples of behavior, and there are cognitive samples of behavior, and you know that you're going to be tested on this. Okay. Do you have any questions? Please use your Cornell notes to study for the test. All right, pass this